Welcome to the subject software engineering. We are in chapter design engineering and presently studying the topic the design model. In the previous class we have taken one aspects of the design model and will continue with the remaining aspects of the design model. Now, second aspect is architectural design elements. The first aspect you have studied is data design elements. Now, second aspect is architectural design elements. Point number 1. The architectural design for the software is the equivalent to the floor plan of a house. The floor plan gives us overall layout view of the house. Similarly, point number 2, architectural design elements gives us an overall view of the software. Students, when you construct a house, the architectural or the design engineer will give you overall floor plan of the house, which will show various units of the houses or rooms or facilities that is available. Similarly, the architectural design elements, as far as design of software is concerned, gives us overall view of the software. Point number 3. The architectural model is derived from three sources. 1. Information about the application domain for the software to be built. Second, specific analysis model elements such as data flow diagrams or analysis classes and their relationship and collaboration for the problem at hand. And the third, the availability of the architectural patterns and styles. So these are three important aspects. One is domain, second is specific analysis model, and third is the architectural patterns and styles available for particular design. Now we'll go to next topic, that is interface design elements. Point number 1. The interface design for the software is equivalent to a set of detailed drawings and specifications of the doors, windows of the house. Students, when you speak about the interface design of the software, you can establish an analogy with the building of a house where it will tell you where is the door, where is the window and other utilities of the houses. Similarly, the interface design elements gives detailed drawing as far as the software that is being developed. Point number 2. The interface design elements for the software tell how information flows into and out of the system and how it is communicated among the components defined as the part of architecture. So students, this interface design is a very important aspect, and it will tell, it will give details about how the data flows into the system or how data flows out of the system and how the communication takes place with respect to other components. Point number 3. There are three important elements of the interface design. 1. The user interface. Second, the external interface to the other systems, devices and networks or producers or consumers of the information. And third, internal interfaces between various design components. So when you think about interface design, you should think about the user interface, that is how the user is going to interact with the software. Second, the external interface to the other system and other devices or the networks, because your system is not single, it has to be working in combination with other systems, so external interface is important. And third, internal interfaces are important because whatever component you are developing, it should interact with the other components of the same system. Point number 4, interface design elements allow the software to communicate externally and enable internal communication. Students, this interface design is very important aspects, as you very well know, and the interface design elements must allow software to communicate with external as well as internal communication should be good. We'll go to the fourth category, that is component level design elements. Point number 1. The component level design for software is equivalent to a set of detailed drawings and specifications for each room in a house. Students, when you think about the component level design as far as software is concerned, okay, you can establish the analogy of building a house where you will get detailed drawings about what is going to be the room length and breadth, what is the exact location of the windows, what is the exact size of the windows and others. Similarly, the component level design gives detailed picture, okay, for the software, fully describing the internal details of each software component. Point number 3. To accomplish this, the component level design defines data structure for all local data objects and algorithmic details for all processing that occurs within a component. Students, you know, algorithm is very important part of the program. It lays the standard and foundation for the program. Okay, so when you go in for component level design, it will define what is the data structure for the objects that you are going to use, what is going to be the algorithm for the detailed processing, okay, aspects that is going to take place in the components. So it will go into minute details of the software. Containing this component level design element, point number 4, the design detail of a component can be modeled at many different levels of abstraction. An activity diagram can be used to represent processing logic. Students, okay, you know what is abstraction? Abstraction is a greater view of the picture which omits the detail and takes only important aspects. So this design detail of the component can be modeled at many different levels of abstraction. So the model can be at any level of abstraction, and activity diagram can be used to represent processing logic. Point number 6. Detailed procedural flow for a component can be represented using either a pseudocode or some diagrammatic form, for example, flowchart. Students, when you want to know the procedural flow of a component, okay, you can use the pseudocode you have studied in DA, that is, okay, that pseudocode forms the basis for any program or algorithm, okay, and you can use the data diagrammatic form such as flowchart, which will give you the clear flow of the program. Next, we will go to the fifth element, that is deployment level design element. Point number 1. So you know deployment means actually installing or activating the software. So point number 1, deployment level design elements indicate how software functionality and subsystems will be allocated within the physical computing environment that will support the software. Deployment diagrams, point number 2, shows the computing environment but does not explicitly indicate configuration details. Students, this deployment level design element will show how the software is going to function and how the individual subsystems in a software, okay, will be allocated the resources. Also, the deployment diagram shows the computing environment but does not give more details. Point number 3. Deployment diagrams begin in the descriptor form where the deployment environment is described in general terms. Later, instance form is used and elements of the configuration are explicitly described. Students, this deployment diagram, okay, begins with the how the elements is going to be described. That is what we call as descriptor form, and it will tell you about the environment where you are going to deploy the system, and it will be explained in more general terms. Okay, so today we have studied, okay, the design model, the remaining aspects of the design model, and we will take up the next topic in the next class. For today, we will stop here. If you got anything, you can give me a call. Please write this in your notebook. Thank you.